Hi, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I am filming this, and welcome to the Philosophy of Her, episode 4. I am so sorry I was unable to post anything this previous Monday. I had a lot of personal schedule conflicts that I had to attend to, and also a holiday that we had, Thanksgiving, so I was unable to completely film episode 4, but I welcome you to episode 4, and we are going to speak about in this episode the connection between spirituality and finding your purpose, and also a bit of a background on my spiritual connection to my mom who was already passed, and also my connection to God and my spiritual practices that I regularly do for myself in order to keep me in line, within alignment, and also to cleanse my aura and cleanse my energy so that I may be able to receive more energy, more clarity, and more direction whenever it comes to my own brand and this philosophy, and truly what the connection between God and this brand have brought within me together, and the steps that I have taken throughout this process, and honestly throughout my entire life, why I have felt such a spiritual connection when it came to spiritual tools, practices, the ideas of reincarnation, and very open minded things. So, that is what we are going to discuss today. And I apologize, it's been like 2 weeks since I have filmed for YouTube, so I might be a little jittery and also my words might be a little bit bombarding. But I am so happy that you are here, and let's just jump right into it. So, honestly, where I would like to start with is my younger self. Throughout my entire life, I have always felt as though I was being watched, or always felt as though there was someone or a certain entity kind of protecting me in a sense. And the reason why I say that is because I had always felt as though eyes were on me whenever I was in a room by myself. I would hear kind of whispers in the back of my mind, and kind of in the corner of my ear with someone trying to speak to me. And obviously, when you are younger and you hear these things and you are feeling these things, you are scared, clearly. You're not quite sure what it is. You're not quite understanding, and maybe it's a negative thing. Maybe it's a negative energy or a negative entity that wants to hurt you or harm you. And at a young age, that is it is a lot to take in whenever it comes to feeling those things, you know. And so throughout my life, I'd always felt as though I didn't quite belong here. And obviously, this isn't going to resonate with everyone, and I completely understand, but this is my truth. And this is something that I've really gained a lot of courage with speaking upon, because it's not something that is quite as open minded in our society and accepting in a way. And I, throughout my life, have dealt with that a lot, with no acceptance, not being chosen, feeling different, out of place, and unable to fit in the places that I was at, especially whenever it came to my personal life and whenever it came to my corporate career that I had for quite some time. And I had always felt just a bit of a pull when it came to trying to figure out where my life can lead me and my destiny and what is really meant for me out there. And whenever you begin to accept that part of yourself, it is actually going to open a lot more doors for you. So another thing that I would like to kind of backtrack on, and again, if you are new to this channel, I kind of backtrack a little bit, so I apologize, but that's just kind of how I use my words, and I kind of jump back a little bit. But my ultimate goal is to truly show and explain to you why things are the way that they are within my life, and with this brand and with this philosophy, and where God has really intertwined with this build that I have created for my life and for this brand. So a bit more of a background for me. I had always been very attracted to and drawn to tarot readings, reincarnation, spiritual essences in a way, and like crystals and things like that, and also other realms that are within our universe, and also truly what could be out there, especially when it comes to spirituality and truly what descendants within our realms are within our current world and our current society. We are truly actually such a vessel for spiritual guidance, and they are always trying to reach out to us and speak to us in a way that they know that we are able to understand and um, understand and be open-minded to. But it is up to you if you want to be that open-minded and that accepting, and obviously many other things whenever it comes to your decision, when it comes to religion, spirituality, things like that. And I am around a lot of people who are very logical and like to have proof of things in certain orders and physical representation of things that are real, and to completely understand that. But anyway, again, backtracking. So whenever I had started this own process, I kind of had a drop of an information from my mother in a way. And she gave me this idea. She said, you are needed and you have a very big purpose, and it is online. And after being on a hiatus from social media, it was a bit overwhelming for me to actually come back on and be brave enough to speak and be brave enough to put myself out there and show up in a way that I needed to on God's behalf, basically. And after I'd gotten this idea, the thought of me quitting physically made me ill and physically made me sick. I continued to push and push and push on myself and my spiritual practices, and kind of had to be my own cheerleader and my own mentor and my own guide, and truly listen to what it is that God and my mom and those who are also helping me really guide me to where I am supposed to go, what my purpose is, and who I'm supposed to help and how I'm supposed to help them. And throughout this entire time, it has grown me into a better person for myself whenever it comes to my spirituality and my growth and my mental strength in a way. And so whenever this all had started, I would just constantly hear something like, keep going, take this step, do this is what you're going to do. And this may not be working, but this is what you can do. And it's all because I have listened to my intuition, and it is all because I have listened to God and to my mom, who has really helped me. She has given me multiple signs that she is here and that she is wanting to help me. And also, it's a co-creating balance with spirituality and with me putting in my own effort in the physical sense. And another reason that I would like to discuss this is because throughout my own self-care journey, I have come to learn about myself that I am a psychic medium. I am able to connect with my mother and with those on the other side and have a strong connection to God. And although that may seem a bit out of left field, I completely understand. And it is actually something new to me for me to tell people. And, it takes a lot of bravery and a lot of courage to be able to say that, especially if it's not something that I particularly talk about often with a lot of people. It's a very special relationship that I have with especially my mother and especially God, and they have both helped me co-create this brand that I have created so that I may be able to help women. I may be able to help a dying world and a dying country that we currently have in our society. I am here to help heal. I am here to help guide. I am here to help women gain their intuition and gain more clarity for themselves and be more accepting and have more respect and really quite a lot of things. And whenever I had learned this about myself, it is very intimidating. Whenever you are basically chosen in a way, it's intimidating. And if you are not ready to accept that big of a purpose and that big of a job, your body will let you know. Your spirituality will let you know. And I'm sorry, but she's she's being hurt today. But anyway, so that is just something that has become really important for me to talk about, and I have felt channeled to do so on here and on TikTok as well. And I apologize for her. She is just, she's something. Again, for those who don't know her, her name is Belle, and she is the name behind the brand. I wanted to honor her for being just such a big part of my life and helping me in many different ways. And she is my soul cat and spiritual cat at this point, and her and I are just quite a team. So, but that is her. And let me come back when we get a bit more collected for each other. Okay, thanks guys. We are a little bit more collected now, and she is just going to go sit over there on her little pepper that she likes to play with. But anyway, thank you for your grace and your patience. So back to spirituality and self-care and kind of where it has led me to understand that I have this certain gift. Whenever I had grown up in my life, I, again, had always felt as though someone was watching me. And a reason why I want to bring this up again is because I also have a connection with my mom's late husband. His name is Milton. And he actually has become a very prominent person in my life for myself. He unfortunately passed years before I was even born. And my mom and him were married for quite some time, and they loved each other just tremendously. And I had always felt as though there was a male figure, prominent male figure in my life in a spiritual sense that was always protecting me in a way. And I have physical evidence of these things happening that have happened within my own life and within moments in my life when I could have been severely hurt. And anyway, one example that I would like to talk about is one time I had driven home, and unfortunately it was after a night at the bar, and it was a night that I should not have been driving home, and I was in the car alone, and I was at a stoplight, and the light had turned green, and I heard in the back of the car the word wait, and all of a sudden, and I waited, and all of a sudden this car, and I had the green light, and all of a sudden this car just comes speeding across, and I could have been hit. I could have been severely hurt. And that had always really stuck with me in a strong sense that clearly someone is here to help me along my way and along my journey. And then my mom passed. And she has shown me many, many physical times that she is here, she is listening, she is guiding me. And one example I have is that I was in my car again, and I had the music turned up quite a bit, and all of a sudden the music just turned all the way down. And it was a song that her and I regularly listened to and enjoyed together. And it's just these little things that have popped up throughout my life. So when you are someone who is being chosen and being offered these gifts and offered this guidance, it's scary, but also calming and also peaceful, because they are there to help me. They're there to help me and guide me to my highest self, for my highest purpose, and for my highest good. And the reason I feel so strongly when it comes to self-care and spirituality is because I had to heal a lot of myself and a lot of my soul in order to gain this clarity and to gain this knowledge and to gain these gifts and gain these opportunities and these doors of love that can truly be open for women and people. And I think that's really an important connection when it comes to self-care, spirituality, especially like meditating, journaling. I enjoy dancing. I love to dance. I was a dancer when I was younger. And so I use that gift that I have to move energy and really come into alignment and cleansing within myself to gain clarity. And I believe when women are able to have that moment with themselves and be accepting of themselves and their intuition and their femininity and their power, you can be truly unstoppable when it comes to creating the life of your dreams. And that is why I just want to be so adamant on when it comes to why spirituality and self-care are so important and why they are really connected between the two. Because in the long run, it is going to help you mentally, it is going to help you physically, it is going to really give you self-awareness about yourself and your body and your mind and really become more open to what is really out there in our world. And they are always wanting to speak with us, and they are always wanting to help us, especially if you have lost someone that you truly just love so much. They are always wanting to be there for you and support you and guide you because they believe in you. They know you're good. They know you are capable of so many more things. And that is another reason why I also realized I wanted to be a motivational speaker and inspire women, because we need more of that. We need more strong women. We need more independent leaders to guide women, and in a spiritual sense and in a self-care sense, because we deserve that. Our world deserves that. Our country deserves that. Our country and our world deserve strong, independent women, but having that balance of feminine and masculine energy. It has to be balanced. It has to be balanced. It can't be one or the other. You can't be angry and expect to have all these things happen for you when you are in a angry energy. But you also need to balance the femininity when it comes to receiving. It's all intertwined. It really is. And it's really something that I have become so passionate about. And it's because I've realized these things through my own self-care practices. And that is something that I want to teach and want to help with and guide and do the best way possible that I can on God's behalf, because I have been chosen for this job and for this purpose. And yeah. So although I speak a lot about my spiritual practices, I am going to tell you guys just a few things that I do in order to cleanse my energy, in order to gain clarity, in order to gain knowledge that is actually really offered for us on a regular basis if we are willing to accept it, willing to sit in the silence and listen to it, willing to heal ourselves from the inside out. And I would really like to emphasize on that, and that is what the most important part is healing yourself. Because you will not be given these opportunities and these gifts if they know that you're not ready. And they know. They know. Each part of my step throughout my own process for myself, I have had many ups and downs. I have had many difficulties. I have had childlike fits, if you will, about WTF, like when is it going to happen for me? What is it, only because even though I show up and even though I have a smile on my face, that does not mean that I still have many difficulties behind the scenes that I regularly deal with every day when managing, knowing that I am chosen, but also knowing that there are some days and certain videos and certain times that I do not receive that validation, but I have to receive that within myself. And whenever you do that inner healing and you understand that, it is such a game changer. We live in a world where things need to be shown up immediately, and I feel that's why many people don't become as successful as they truly can within themselves, or they don't follow their dreams because, well, I lost this one day, I'm going to give up. You can't do that. You have to continue pushing, and the most successful people continue to show up even on the days that they really don't feel like it, and even on the days where they feel drained or they were crying so much the day before. Those little steps and you continuously showing up for yourself are such a big indicator that you are worthy of a life that you want for yourself. You are worthy of that promotion at work. You are worthy of following your dreams and making that book or creating that art or channeling what you've been through into art, into something new that this world could use. And that is where my passion for self-care came from. Whenever I really enjoyed doing that for myself, I thought to myself, and a message from my mom saying, what if more women had the access to this information? What if women saw you and what you went through, how that can be motivating for them? Because it is so difficult. It is so hard. And again, I believe we are able and capable of creating a better world where women have more clarity and they aren't so hung up on things and competition and anger towards one another, and really just becoming more yourself and who you're meant to be in your greatest light and your lightest self. because carrying that weight and carrying that energy is not going to do you any good in the long run. It is going to hold you back from so many things that you are capable of achieving. So, but a few practices that I do for myself. I am actually a tarot reader. I read cards. I have plenty of tarot decks that I use. I love crystals. I actually keep some regularly next to me to help me just stay calm and at peace within myself. They all have meaning. And if you take the time to actually really read what each of them have meaning for, that can also help you as well. I also have a pendulum. It is a crystal that hangs over a map, not a map, a board in a way. And that's how I speak to my mom. That's how I speak to Milton. You know, I'm feeling this type of way. Can you give me this answer? Can you give me this clarity? And they do. They do give you the answers. Sometimes it might be a lie because they need to keep you going, but because they can't tell you everything. They also have rules and regulations that they need to follow as well. And I don't know if a lot of people know that, but they do. There are laws up there that they need to follow, and they're unable to tell us everything. But if we are able to follow the breadcrumbs and have that carrot still dangled in front of us, it can just bring you to such a beautiful place within your heart, within your mind, within your body and your soul, because you know it's true. You know that there's such a better life for you, a peaceful life and a healing life. And yeah. But anyway, another thing I enjoy doing to cleanse is baths. I really love taking baths. Water is a very big energy source for me. I've always been felt connected to water. So whenever I'm in the shower, I visualize the shower just being basically not holy water in a way, but a spiritual cleanse, and it just clears away everything and gives me mental clarity and gives me calmness. So that's another great tool that you can use for yourself if you feel really connected to water. Or I light candles as well, and I set an intention every time I light my candle that I am in this room. I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to film the best way I can. I'm going to inspire women using this message. Everything that you do needs to come with intention, and you have to follow through on that intention as well. And that's another spiritual thing that they like to let us know. Create things with intention. Do actions with intention. It's all connected. It really is. Bella... So anyway, I believe that is where I think I'm going to end this episode. If you have comments or if you have questions for me, I would be so happy to hear from you, the questions that you have for me. And I, again, am just so humbled and just so grateful that you are here and you stuck around for my message today. And if you haven't already, please follow on TikTok and Instagram. I'm more alive on TikTok than I am on Instagram. Trying to work on that and do the best I can to balance that. But please subscribe also to the Bellara Philosophy for the Philosophy of Her series. And I come out with episodes every Monday right now. But whenever Christmas is coming up, I might not be able to get one of the episodes the last week of Christmas for obvious reasons. We need to enjoy our time with family and our loved ones and really connect with them. And also, a message that I would just like to say is be with your loved ones this holiday, especially if you have lost someone that you really love. When you go through something like that, being with those that are still alive, it's really important for you to be present and in that moment, especially during the holiday time. I know it can be hard, but also another thing that you can do to help manage that holiday grief for loved one that you lost. Go to your favorite breakfast spots or dinner spots that you guys enjoyed, or drink that person's favorite drink. My mom would enjoy a Michelob Ultra once in a while, and I would still do that. So just those little things to help you stay connected to that person on the other side, because they want to stay connected to you. They love you. They love you so much, and they let you know all the time. So I thank you once again, and Belle also says thank you, and we love you all so much, and we hope you have a beautiful and wonderful and blessed day, and God bless you all.